Hello, Internet, and welcome to my live reaction for the Cuckoo's Fiancee, Chapter 55. When we last left our heroes, Nagi and Hiro were still lost out, or still stranded out in the boonies with the trains down, so they went to stop at a hotel, and due to Nagi kind of panicking about them not letting two high schoolers buy a hotel room, Hiro lied and said they were married and in their 20s. Which then eventually led to them only being given one tatami mat, or one bed in their room, I mean. And then some more hijinks ensued, leading to Nagi to fall on top of Hiro in a classic harem pratfall scene, which then led to Hiro asking Nagi if he wants to do something even badder than what they've done. The implication there being sex. So yeah, all that being said, let's jump right on into 55th Foul. Is it so wrong for me to be bad? And our picture here is of Hiro in her Shrine Maiden's outfit. Hiro suddenly makes her approach her yukata. When she said something even badder, could that have been an attempt at seduction? We open right where we left off. Nagi is still on top of Hiro, their hands still connected, Hiro kind of looking away, blushing after what she just said. And Nagi also blushing. Well, when you say something even badder, you mean, and we feel their hearts beating. And then Hiro says, Umino-kun, your hand, my hand? And she hands him 1,000 yen bill. And and he looks at it. Money? Yeah. We're all alone right now. 2 high school students. With no parents around. You know what comes next. Okay, so I was kind of expecting some kind of twist on the situation to have already happened by now, but they're really playing it up like something's about to happen. And we see Hiro kind of twiddles her feet nervously. Alcohol. There it is. There's the twist. Nagi reacts, kind of shocked at both the kind of letdown and the fact that he kind of went there and she was absolutely not going there. There's a part of me wondering, and this might be the point where my examination into characters' body language in this series just goes too far, but a part of me wonders if she is kind of backing out. I don't think so, because she hands him the money to go buy the alcohol. So yeah, in the end, it does kind of feel like a little bit of a cop-out, given how much last chapter kind of teased it being sex. But whatever. Then Nagi just stands up and then yells at her, "You're the worst! The worst of the worst!" And then... So it's been a while since we've had this gimmick. But my first thought there is that sort of a Nagi imagination scene. I can't quite tell, because Hiro seems to react, though only with a giggle, which would imply that she knows what he thought she was implying. So maybe she was kind of teasing him at the same time. It's not like I was saying her backing out at the last minute. It's she knew what he wanted. And she was going to act like it for a second and then be like, nope, you thought wrong, boy. I don't know. Damn it, I thought for sure she played me like a fiddle. And then Hiro asks, so that's a no? Of course it's a no. What would we do if they got suspicious? And we have an image of the alcohol salesman. ID, please. We'd be lucky to get off with just age fraud. And then Hiro looks away, pouting. I thought you would have just gone with it and let me get some. As if I would. I didn't think you, of all people, would have proposed something like that. I'm shocked. And then Hiro smiles and says, of course you are. Is it so wrong for me to be bad? There's our title line. And Nagi just kind of looks at her. I don't know, I'm not quite getting the context here. Um, mm, I don't know. There's something kind of weird about the context. Um, I don't know. Uh, anyway, before I go any further, I'm gonna have to actually do some editing for once in my life. Because my dog is kind of stuck in this room with me because she wouldn't leave when I was setting up the room, and now she wants out. So there's going to be a quick cut here. And we're back. So, there's just something a little bit weird about the sentence structure for is it so, or it's about the delivery maybe, for is it so wrong for me to be bad? I don't know. It seems like, I don't know. I'm just going to ignore it for now until I can figure out a more definitive issue with it, because I don't really know. It's kind of something about it feels a little, very slightly off to me. Anyway, Nagi just looks at her. Absolutely. You are smart, and he just goes off on her. You are smart, athletic, cute, popular at school. If someone who everyone looks up to. If you were to drink alcohol, how will we ever explain that? And then Hiro kind of turns away. But I'm tired of always being the honor student. Just once I wanted to lie to adults, to do something I could get yelled at for. Then Nagi just tells her, whatever your reasons, no means no. But, so that actually feels, that kind of clears up whatever issue was going on up there. Is that the whole thing here is that, like, she just kind of wants to be different than who she is. And that way that, like, teenagers kind of always do. So okay, I can kind of jam with that now. But, then Nagi turns away blushing. I like the bad Seikawa-san, too. Then Hiro looks up at him. But if you're going to drink in front of me, I'll have to stop you. Then Hiro just smiles there. Alright then, Umino-kun. And then she like, puts on a brave face. I'll just have to settle for sake. Nothing about that is alright. And then Nagi kind of changes tack. Hold on a moment. Please tell me why you're so fixated on drinking tonight. Well, you see, there's this ritual at the shrine where you drink the sacred wine, and the raw sake was just so good, you know? And we see an image of, like, drunk Hiro, kind of, I don't know what the thing is called, it's the bells on the stick. She's shaking those. I was, like, all floaty and all bubbly inside. And so just like that, you acquired a taste for hard liquor? And then Hiro's, like, eyes shining. And I think you should try some, too. Maybe when I'm 20. And then some more time passes. Starting to rain outside, and the two of them are still in their room. I like that maybe as a direct result of how kind of sex-brained Nagi was earlier, he's kind of exiled himself to the far side of the towel from last chapter. That's a neat little detail. And Hiro says that I'm up next. In 1575, Nobunaga and Ieyasu joined forces to fight against Takeda Katsuyori. What was the name of that battle? So I guess they're, like, helping each other study now. And Nagi doesn't say anything. He's just kind of drooling, kind of nodding off. And Hiro asks him, you give up? And he snaps awake, no! Damn it, all because I didn't get any sleep yesterday. The Battle of Nagashino. Correct. I finally have the chance to be all alone with Seikawa-san tonight. And Hiro says, it's your turn next. And then Nagi jumps in. During his reign, Tokugawa Tsunayoshi passed several decrees on the protection of animals. They were called and then Hiro just jumps in, orders on compassion for living things. But that was apparently not the question, as Nagi continues, of which the first order was passed in what year? And then Hiro thinks, let's see, Tsunayoshi was the 5th shogun, so, we see she's kind of drooping. And Nagi thinks, Segawa-san's fighting the urge to sleep. She's so cute. But then she just snaps awake. 1685. Correct. For the record, falling asleep counts as a loss too. And Nagi thinks victory secured. Next question. What is the name of the incident in 1864 where the Shinsengumi conducted a raid against imperial loyalists in Tokyo? Hehehehe. That was Hiro's question, and Nagi responds, Segawa-san. It seems like you're just about out of ideas, no? And we see they're both kind of like drooping. They're both just about passed out. When just then, they hear, "Police, open up!" Okay! Stunning the both of them, Hiro asks, "Are we really being raided now?" And Nagi gets up. "Oh, what?" Hiro, "Did they say police? Maybe they just mean there are police officers staying here?" "Yeah, right." And Nagi goes to, like, look in the peephole. Hiro listens by the door. Looks like there are police in the lobby. Does that mean there are criminals around here? And the two of them look at each other, and Hiro starts to panic. You don't think the Ryokan could have reported us?" That, to me, is big. I've never been in trouble. I've never done anything bad before, and so as soon as I do something bad, people will instantly know about it energy. Like, I feel that all the time. Anytime I do something even slightly wrong, I'm like, they know I'm gonna die, I'm gonna go to jail, and I'll die. So I relate to Hiro here very hard. Nagi's just, why? And he starts to panic. "We pay the nightly rate in full on everything." But then Hiro responds, "But we did fake our ages." And we have what I can only assume is an imagination, Nagi's imagination going wild. "Expelled?" And we see Nagi walking out of the school glumly. "I heard Seiko-san and Umino-kun faked their ages when they were staying at a hotel. And they even drank alcohol, too." Oh my. And they were honor students. Did they really? I mean, to be expelled like that means your life is over. And then we see what looks like the train of a wedding dress. "Sorry, Umino-kun. My parents told me to never talk to you again. Wait, Seiko-san! I ended up marrying my fiancé. You should marry Erika-chan, too. I wish you both the best." And yeah, we see, despite the fact that she said, "ended up marrying my fiancé," she's clearly, like, in the middle of doing it in this fantasy. Because fantasies don't always make sense, I guess. I want to look at is it a good or a bad sign for Nagi-Eri shipping that "you should marry Erika-chan too" pops up in Nagi's fantasy? Because on the one hand, it pops up in his fantasy, which seems like a good thing. But it's a very bad fantasy, so I'm not quite sure. It might be a sign that he doesn't want to marry Erika at all, which, I mean, like, for this point in his development, okay, fine. But I very much don't like that as a shipper. And Nagi comes back to reality screaming, "Gah!" And Hiro is kind of stunned at that. And then Nagi turns to Hiro. "Let's make a break for it." "Huh? How?" "Out the window. Come on, grab your stuff." "But we're on the second floor." And just then someone knocks on their door. "Huh? What do we do?" And the door opens. And it's fucking... It was Erika and Sachi the whole time. Oh shit. In cop outfits. "Police, you're under arrest." And I love Nagi just freezes. His robe's still like half off. You can see his bare shoulders. Hiro has wrapped herself in the curtain to try to hide from the cops. I love her so much. And Nagi is just, "Amino-san? Sachi? Jeez, you came to get us? I'm surprised you found us here. Suspect secured. Arresting the perp." And just then they realize that his robe is like at least half off. Yeah, and he's just standing there in his boxers. Who knows what they're gonna think now? And he just looks down. Eek! Why are you naked? "Nagi, did you guys... You've got it all wrong. I was in a hurry to change." And with that, our Love Hotel adventure comes to an end. As they drive back home, presumably with the same driver from a couple of chapters ago. Sachi looks at him. "He's fast asleep." Hiro responds, "He seemed like he needed it all day after all." "So Hiro-san," this is Sachi again, "so what actually happened between you and my brother today?" And Hiro responds, "We did all sorts of things." And Erika looks at her frustrated. "All sorts of things? Like what?" Well, it seems that Umino-kun is a guy after all. I'm gonna take that to mean that the cliffhanger from last chapter was at the very least intended to be interpreted as sex on Hiro's part. Even if she always was going to say alcohol, she wanted him to think sex. Especially now that we know that she definitively likes him after chapter 51. I think it's, I think we can say that last chapter's cliffhanger was she was trying to get him to think that she wanted sex. And it's an immature tactic, but it's also a very kind of realistic for a 16-year-old tactic, I guess. And we see Erika and Sachi both. Erika's jaw dropped. Sachi's kind of uncomfortable, and Erika asks, "You mean that in the genitals sort of way?" Erika-chan, could you not? These memories remain theirs alone. Next time, a certain someone's birthday party begins. Okay. I have no idea who that someone could be. Maybe it's Nagi. No, because it's someone. And Nagi and Erika should have the same birthday, so it can't be either of them. For some reason, my gut instinct says it's Mr. Amino. For some reason, I think everything's going to get tied up back to Mr. Amino, and he's going to do some subtle incest shipping, and we'll all have a bad time. But I have no real reason to believe that. Anyway, this chapter was, I will say, honestly, I don't really want to call it a slight disappointment. I think it could definitely be read that way, but I don't think anyone truly believed that they would actually have sex. That would be such a huge escalation that it would have been really interesting, but it would have also just kind of changed the relationship game. Not both Nagi and Hiro's relationship to the other characters in such an extreme way. That certainly would have been interesting, but I'm also not sure it would have been. I'm not sure it would have been good in the end. And I think it comes to a nice compromise, even if it does kind of feel like a cop-out in the beginning. That last Hiro line very much does feel like that she was trying to... I'm trying to find the exact words for this, beyond what I've already said. Trying to imply sex, to get Nagi to think that it's sex that she's asking for, even if it's just to kind of troll them in the end, like Hiro always does. That was kind of her end goal. Or a mid-goal, I guess, was to make Nagi think that she was asking for sex and to, see the panic, and maybe get a read on... I mean, it's hard to say that she needs a better read on Nagi's feelings for her, as Nagi has always been very explicit about that. Though she has been sensing Nagi's feelings for the other girls, and maybe, I don't know. I'm not going to try to piece apart the mind of a 16-year-old. Yeah. I mean, it is a very... It feels like a very... it's immature, but not in a super bad way. Not in the bad narrative way, I'll say that. It's not a good thing Hiro did, but it makes her a more complex character. I complained once a long time ago, I forget what chapter it was, that Hiro sometimes felt like... There was the chapter where Sachi was spying on Hiro, and Hiro just felt like a perfect angel who could do no wrong. And I said that was just a bad characterization for her. And I really love the characterization that she sometimes is just kind of fucked up. Sometimes just kind of playing, kind of getting in this lie with Nagi and having a good time. But this is honestly, not exactly a great thing for her to do. Playing with Nagi's feelings like this. And it makes her more complex. I'm here for it. But then, yeah, And then Sachi and Erika show up. Um, and I mean, it's the closest thing we have to a money shot this chapter. Um, if I were to rank Cuckoo's Fiance's money shot, this would definitely be on the lower end. There's nothing really special about it. I'm looking at it now, and I just noticed that Sachi's police badge has fucking Shoba on it. I love that. I love that. It's great. Um, but it's it's varying characters, what they would do. I'm kind of curious how they figured out where Nagi. Oh, wait, of course they could figure out where Nagi was, because last chapter, Nagi used the hotel baron's bank account, or the living expenses that he and Erika share. Maybe, I think Erika just, like, tracked that. Possibly, I guess. I guess that would work. So yeah, that actually is a really interesting, a really, really smart way to ferry that plot line along. But then, yeah, we get a couple of good gags about Nagi being in a state of undress. And then we see Hiro kind of, hiding the exact details of what happened, as it's, the memories remain theirs alone, as the blurb tells us. So yeah, there ends a very big Nagi Hiro arc. And I think it was a great time. Again, I'm a Nagi Eri shipper first and foremost, but this was honestly just kind of a fun little arc. That got into... I'm not the biggest harem reader in the world, but it's something that I can't really say with definitive certainty, but it seems like it's an area that harem manga don't often tread. And for that, it gets some props. And honestly, it was just a fun read all along. So that's all I have to say for this video. Hope you all enjoyed the chapter and the video itself. If you did, feel free to drop me a like or subscribe. Do whatever makes you happy, And remember, your life is your own, okay? Bye!